When the last of the snow had melted and the daffodils bloomed, we knew that spring had finally arrived. In this episode, we say farewell to the long, cold winter and experience our first mud season. We welcome the much-anticipated springtime by planting a fruit orchard and burning our first slash pile. And we finally begin preparing our land to move the mobile home and build our house. We are Hidden Creek Family Ranch, a 3-generational family teaming up to build our homestead from scratch in North Idaho. Our first winter was long, cold, and mostly gray, with bouts of freezing temperatures, snow, rain, slush, and ice carrying on through the end of March. And it never stopped us from having fun. We've got Alina and Isla's friends over today, and we're having a little bushcrafting lesson and working with some tools, cutting down some branches, and building a shelter. It's snowing, it's beautiful. David's up on the back 10, cutting down a tree for some firewood, a dead tree. And yeah, we're just having a really nice time. My brother and I grew up camping, hiking, backpacking, and fishing in the Sierra Nevada mountains. And I've always dreamed of instilling my passion for wilderness in my own children. With this amazing place as our home, David and I now have priceless and unlimited opportunities to watch Alina and Isla's love for the outdoors grow as they begin to learn the principles of the wilderness and the skills to thrive in this environment. What's not thriving in this environment are my orange trees that I started as seedlings from our backyard orange tree in Southern California 2 years ago. We knew we'd be moving to our land in North Idaho sometime in the near future, and I had a dream of growing orange tree offspring in our future greenhouse one day. So I planted some of the seeds from our tree and nursed them. We brought the 6 surviving seedlings with us when we moved here, and they thrived throughout the summer and early fall. When temperatures approached freezing, I temporarily moved them into our heated pantry in the shop under a grow light and prayed they'd survive the winter. As you can see, I've got this really high-tech grow operation going on out here. Not really, actually. This is very substandard, really. But this was the best that we came up with in a short period of time. And they've been hanging in there, although recently they've started looking a bit sad. So I think it's actually time to repot, change out their soil, and just love on them a little bit, and hopefully we can just keep them pulling through this winter. The orange trees barely clung to life under the grow light in the pantry for 4 months. Today we are having what we call a false spring. It's like 40 degrees, sunny, bright blue sky. All the snow is melting around us. Everything is wet and muddy. And it's just beautiful. It feels like spring is on its way. Since today is beautiful and warm, I went ahead and I brought them outside so that they could just get some natural sunlight and some fresh air. But they're looking really sad. I'm not sure that they're gonna make it, but I'm hopeful. I am not giving up. And I don't know, it's just gonna be one day at a time from this point. One day at a time became a daily saying for us as we anxiously awaited spring's arrival. After several days of relatively warm temperatures melting the snow, another storm would roll through, reminding us that the North Idaho winter doesn't give up easily. But we don't give up easily either, and we always do our best to seize the day and enjoy each moment because we know that spring is right around the corner, and so is the biggest project of our life. I'm out on this beautiful evening taking a walk. It's so awesome because this is 6 o'clock. Coming up at the end of winter. We'll be in spring in about 4 days. And it's just nice to have some sunlight and blue skies at 6 o'clock in the evening, whereas a couple months ago, It was dark by 4, so this is a real treat. The spring equinox brought longer and warmer days, causing the snow to melt more rapidly and the frozen dirt beneath it to thaw, surrounding us with mud. The mud has arrived. And so, of course, the dog is muddy, the kids are muddy, our shoes are muddy. Welcome to mud season. We got a call this morning from our builder, Joel, that we might be moving this mobile home within the week. And our goal is to get it from this current location here over to this side of our property where all that junk is. So we've got a compost pile, we have implements for the tractor, we have a trailer, and we've got a pile of logs that all needs to be relocated. And so that's what I'm gonna be working on today. Additionally, I just plan on cleaning up around the property because we've got snowboards out and snow sleds and tarps from last fall that were buried with snow. And we just have massive quantities of mud. This is our excuse for a compost pile. It's contributed to daily, but it's not managed at all. We're just dumping into it and walking away and saying we're gonna get to that later. So I'm having to get to it now because we're planning on putting the mobile home right about here. This has gotta go. All right, this is it. David's gonna take this tree down. And the goal is to go that way. In addition to the 50-foot ponderosa pine, David continued clearing massive quantities of alderbush and a variety of dead trees around the perimeter of our build site, decreasing our home's susceptibility to wildfire. As a result, we ended up with numerous piles of slash, something we'll evidently never see the end of. Well, today is kind of an exciting day for us. We're doing something that we've never done before. We are going to be burning our slash pile. This is just a massive pile of forest debris from all of our pruning and thinning and clearing, and it's time for this pile to go. David's on his way over with the tractor, and I don't know what else he brought. Let's go check it out and see what he's got going on. How you feeling about that fire, fireman?
It's smoldering. That's what slash fires do.
Is that how you feel about it? How do you feel about it?
I think it's awesome.
It is, right? That's what I said.
I made a fire.
This is rad.
I'm a fireman and I made fire.
You made a big fire.
Yeah.
But under control.
It's under control.
You didn't burn down the forest. Thanks for not burning down our forest.
Yes.
I'm pretty stoked about that. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
The slash pile burned down and smoldered for 6 days. And during this time, the last patch of snow on our property melted away, and our meadows of lush green grass and wildflowers awakened after months of frozen hibernation. With the possibility of freezing temperatures becoming less likely, we headed down to our peninsula to begin planning our fruit tree orchard. This part of our property is the ideal location for an orchard because it's flat, close to the water, and receives full sun for most of the day. And there happens to be a wild apple tree already growing there. So if that tree can survive here, we figure others can too. Look at us, it's officially spring. Oh, look at your tan line. We're gonna have to work on that starting today. We're heading down to the peninsula and we are going to be digging the holes for apples for our apple orchard. It's a gorgeous day, it's like 70 degrees. Aside from our small-scale backyard gardening experience in Southern California, David and I have never done anything like this. So we did a lot of research before getting started, and we're treating this experience as a learning opportunity. As expected, I am just hitting rock. It's a lot of rock. I'm not really sure how the apple trees are gonna do in this terrain. The soil is really dark and rich, but it's definitely rather rocky and making it very difficult to dig out these holes. I think that finding this is a good sign. After soaking the bare root trees in water for a few hours, we started planting our new trees. 2 Spygold apples, 2 Holstein apples, 2 Northern Spy apples, and 1 nectarine. And we plan to add cherries, plums, and pears in the future. We considered planting them now, but thought it would be wise to start with just these 7 trees in case they don't tolerate this soil or location well. Yeah, so this is our first apple tree. It's actually the first of anything that we've planted in the ground here. And this one is a Spygold. and it's a little bit shorter than all of the other apple trees that we're doing. So this one is going to be on the most southern side of the orchard so that its shadow is not blocking the sunshine of the other apples, the other apple trees. So we kind of know what we're doing. At least we're pretending we do. I'm pretending. Are you pretending? We're totally pretending.
We're faking it till we make it.
Yeah, we're figuring it out as we go. And I don't know, I guess in about 4 to 7 years, we'll figure out if we did it right. So in the future, we'll have our own compost, which we do have a compost pile going. We just have basically been feeding it and doing nothing else with it. So it's really not ready to amend our soil in any way. And so I just went ahead and went out and bought this. It's a natural premium planting compost blend. And someday we'll be adding our own compost to our plants. But for now, this is it.
After covering the trees with compost and mulch, I secured the wire cages with garden staples and watered them. I am not really sure what the temperature of the creek is right now. I'm guessing it's in the low 40s. It feels like ice water. It hurts. It aches. I can only last a few seconds before I start feeling the pain in my feet and in my legs, and I just have to get out pretty much like as fast as I can.
Saying goodbye to winter and welcoming the spring was easy, but not because the winter was too cold or too harsh. It was because this is the season that we've been waiting for, the season during which we'll finally begin to build our home.
Well, this is super exciting. I look down the road and here comes this truck. This is one of several truckloads of our lumber package. We are going to start building this house in the very near future. I am so excited.
And on the day that our lumber package arrived, a rainbow reached across our meadow, foreshadowing the amazing transformation that we were about to begin.